All right, today we're going to pull back the curtain on a piece of software that was never meant to see the light of day. We're calling it the collector's sorting machine. And its job? Well, its job is to figure out just how valuable you are, and it does it using just one little piece of information: where you live.
I mean, have you ever really stopped and thought about this? When a company has some new, high-end, expensive product, how do they decide who to market it to first? Who gets put at the top of the list? It's a great question, and it leads us straight into the kind of shadowy world of digital profiling.
So what is this thing? At its core, this system is a sorting machine, but not for mail. It's for people. Its purpose is, well, it's brutally simple: to take a completely standard customer list and rank every single person on it from basically richest to poorest.
The technical term for this whole process is collector wealth scoring, and it all happens completely behind the scenes without you ever knowing. It takes just one piece of your data, your shipping address, something you give out all the time, and uses that to make a huge assumption about your finances. Then it slaps a score on you, a score that determines your value to the company. So how does this actually work? How does a simple name and an address get magically turned into this ranked list of so-called high-value targets? Well, it turns out it's a pretty straightforward 5-step process. Let's break it down. So it all starts off innocently enough. Step 1, someone just uploads a basic spreadsheet of customer data. But then an automated process kicks in. Step 2, the system enriches that data by pinging a real estate service called RentCast to find the estimated value of your property. Step 3, that value becomes your wealth score. And from there, it's easy. Step 4 is just sorting everyone from the highest score down to the lowest. And finally, step 5, everyone gets put into these little buckets like priority collector, high, mid, and low. Just like that, a plain old mailing list becomes this powerful list of who's worth targeting first.
And look, we're not talking about some super complex, mind-bending algorithm here. The logic is just dead simple. If your address links to a $200,000 property, you get a low score. If it links to a $2 million property, bam, you get a high score. Suddenly, the value of your home has become a stand-in for your value as a customer. It's as simple as that.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. This is all just a concept, right? A thought experiment? Well, no, not at all. The evidence for this entire system was found right there, buried in the application's source code. So let's take a look at the actual digital DNA of this sorting machine. And this right here is the engine. This single line of code is the whole shebang. And you don't even need to be a programmer to understand what it's doing. It simply tells the computer, hey, take 2 people, compare their wealth score, and put the person with the higher score first. That's it. This one command is what ranks everyone. So what did it take to get to the top of that list? What was the magic number to be labeled a priority collector? Well, the code spelled it out very, very clearly. If your property value was estimated to be $1.5 million or more, you were automatically put in that top tier. This wasn't a suggestion. It was hard-coded right into the system.
Okay, so we've seen how it works. We've seen the proof in the code itself. But this is where the story takes a really sharp turn. Because after this system was built and used, someone tried to make the whole thing disappear.
And just like that, it was gone. The files that contained all the logic, the connection to RentCast, the wealth scoring system, the sorting command we just looked at, they were all removed from the project's main code base. Poof. But here's the thing, it is really, really hard to truly delete things on the internet. This line here comes from something called a Git log, which is like a permanent public diary of every single change made to a piece of software. And it shows a commit, that's an official change, made on September 15th, 2025. And the description couldn't be clearer. It deleted RentCast files, wiping the entire system from the project's history, but leaving behind the receipt. So a tool was built to rank people by wealth, and then someone tried to erase the evidence. It just raises this huge question, why? What makes this kind of hidden profiling so sensitive? Well, the biggest issue is that this all happened without anyone's knowledge. No consent. There was no box to check, no way to opt out. You gave your address for shipping, and it was used to profile you. This obviously raises serious questions about data privacy laws like CCPA and GDPR. And to make matters even worse, the investigation found the system's security was pretty weak, which created a whole separate layer of risk. And that really brings us to our final thought. This particular system was discovered only because its code was temporarily public. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Every time we give our address, our age, or our interests to a company, we're feeding a machine. The only real question is, What is it sorting for? And what other lists are we ending up on that we don't even know exist?